Well, hello there. I hope the apocalypse is treating you well. I'm going to do something different. We haven't had any requests. So, what we're going to do is we're going to do list bingo. So, uh, before we start, Vassal World Cup is in full swing. There are 72 lists. If you want lists, go check out Steel Strategy. All the pods are listed there. I am out at this point of the Vassal World Cup. Um, and all it's almost a mathematical certainty, I'd say, at this point. Um, I made some bad mistakes, particularly in my first game, where I overestimated the amount of damage separatists would do if I just went straight at them with a liberty. And I think that cost me badly. Um, I also managed to do 3 damage to myself, to shields, and 2 hull in my second game. So there many mistakes were made. Many mistakes were made. That was in one maneuver, one failed liberty maneuver. Anyway, we haven't had any list requests, but there are 22 rebel ships. We've random number generator. So let's see what number this generates. 11. Let's count them. So 11 is the armored cruiser. Okay, so build around an armored cruiser. Okay, so let's compare it to its ordnance for the purposes of figuring out what does the armored cruiser do well that nobody else does. So it's got an ordnance slot that it doesn't really need to use, is one thing. So it can be a combat ship. It's just flying around, blatting people. Ordnance potting away as it goes. Is always nice. And it's got a good mix. Got a good deal of medium range firepower, which is where it's really at. So yeah, that's decent. It can become a decent squadron pusher. If it wants, though I'm not sure how much you can depend on it. So Sato, maybe, or Garm. Let's try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, let's randomly generate a number again. Should have dice for this. 5. Kraken. That won't work for me. Let's do that again. 4. Garm. Right. Okay. So you can see we've got a good hull. So can just make this thing a nightmare for squadrons. So you can put ordnance pods on it. You can put LTTs on it. Now, between ECMs or reinforced blast doors, I think we actually want the blast doors, because it's just so token sparse. And we've got the contains to try and keep us alive. And then with all the different types of dice we're doing, we probably want Kaken and Sholin. Got all dice on it, and then just something else to maybe keep us alive. We'll come back, we'll see what the points are. Right, so this is the armored cruiser, and it's a nightmare for squads. It's okay against ships. So then, what can we pair well with this? So it's Garm, so 2 command is always nice. Throw in a Pelta, give it the old intensify firepower, throw a Soka on it. Okay. So that's kind of good. Could go skilled first officer as placeholder, for the cruiser because, we may need it. Um, then what else? So if we've got intensify firepower, we can do something interesting. You go another big ship, we could throw in a Karen. I think a Jaina's Light is always kind of nice. Okay, so what we can do, however, is we could go heavy ion emplacements, and we could replace those ordnance pods with assault concussion missiles. Both of them are exhaust, but you don't care. If you do, you get your blacks on your one side and you get your blues on your other. Um, that'll be the hope. But you've only two blue at one side. That's probably. Let's go back to our ordnance pods for now. So. Could just add like a brace of hammerheads. So 3 task force Antilles. Again, they don't really lend themselves to Garm all that much. Could throw in FB support. This is the thing, we've got tokens lying around, so what if we put Redemption on? We can give this an LTT, so there is a lot of flak. There is currently 3 LTTs and ordnance pods flying around the place. Now, what we could do is we can afford another NebB with more LTTs. Sadly, I really would like 6 points to jump to an escort, but no. So this is a tricky one. Should be able to get a good bit of firepower in. Yes, Ford, we can't afford Salvation. Could afford Vanguard. But yeah, this is. So we've got 5 ships. They're throwing decent dice. Then we can throw in a most wanted, I think, just because the sheer amount of dice we're throwing. And we can always just run the Corvette. Asteroid tactics then for keeping our ships alive against those squads and with everything else. So yeah, actually, what we can do is we can put Ezra on something. So when we want an obstacle to get right in there. And then the Garm tokens are getting rid of. They're giving shields back or getting rid of tokens. So we're just double checking something. Right. So yeah, we've got most wanted, we've got asteroid tactics. And yeah, so volatile deposits could be a thing, but I think solar corona. I think solar corona is a nice little, because it gets rid of our deployment disadvantage. Okay. Garm bingo 1. Right, that is 1 list done. And none of these are pre-made, so yeah, this is just a random one. Ships, how many do we have? 12, 16, 20, 22, because we won't build for these boys because, well, okay. Let's say 24. And we'll randomly build a 500-point ship. List if that's what bingo says. We got 20. That is the Vic 1. Okay, let's see what we can do with some victory 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 commanders. Let's see what List Bingo says. Number 11. Ooh, Thrawn. Okay. So, Thrawn, So, what he can do is he can allow us command squadrons while we do other things like maneuver. Now, what have we got? Victory 2. Okay, so we want, on a victory, we definitely want decaps. It's 3 points for just occasionally murdering a small ship. We've only got 1 blue of flak, so let's take a look at titles. So Corruptor, we could make really fast bombers. And with Cherno, then you've got speed 3 bombers, dodging intel. That is not a bad plan. We've got Harrow, but this does seem a bit expensive. And we have 7th Fleet. Warlord Dominator seems a bit much, to be honest. I don't know, let's come back to it. We don't have to have Thrawn on this ship. Let's leave him off for now. We'll know we're coming back to him. So we could have 7th Fleet. Okay, so we'll get 3 of those in easily with 7th Fleet. Then you put Thrawn. So what's that leave us? That leaves us only 80 points for good stuff. So I don't think we've enough to really do 7th Fleet, to be honest. So then back to, I think we need to take a look at what other ships we want in. So with the decaps, we have a good bit of long-range firepower. So what we could do, we could, yeah, so we don't need 2 victories. If we're not going 7th Fleet, we don't need 2 victories. Do Harrow and engine techs, so then we're a bit of speed 3. We're hunting down those smallies, and then the H9s and the leading shots. So it's not fantastic. Actually, what we'll do is veteran gunners dump the leading shots. And there you do have a fast ship. So that is the base. Then we want to add some squadrons for it to command. So let's take a look. So, Lambdas. Let's take 2 Lambdas. What is our squadron? So we want to defend. So, and take. Take Captain Jonas as well, so that we get those double, nice, lovely double accuracies if we want them. Sorry, things are just falling off the table. And so if we have a Lambda, need a second strategic, all about the relay. It's the Lambdas. Now, Morello is decent at 22 points. He's speed thingy. Um, and like if we're including lambdas, throwing in um, we're throwing in strategic objectives, and I think we're just dropping a lot of this stuff to just make this thing cheap. Okay, so killing a lot of stuff on the victory. So can repair and maneuver and concentrate fire. We're getting a bit of wanted architects. So yeah, so Centaur is always a bit nice. And then you can throw in ERCs and that's done. That's in with the decaps long firepower, not too bad. And then the Valen, bit of Tell. So throw in Zanti. So currently commanding, add another. So 3, 4, add the, let's add an hangar bay, add 2 bombers. So add TIE bombers. So it's a bit of a mix. This stuff can all stay away from the fight while using Centaur to command. Centaur always also do a bit of squadron commanding. And then, so points for something else. Let's see what kind of demolisher. Not a very good one. Not a, need the ordnance experts. So where can we cut back a little? How tight are we to Centaur? Do this, for example. Just depend on the relay and the fact the phone is handing out extra commands. And then assault concussion missiles, which probably should be external racks. Or at least APTs, because it's slightly cheaper. Right. So then let's add fire lanes. Let's add. Basically, we're just adding fire lanes because it's you score off it. Let's add salvage run, dragging tokens out, and then so you could go targeting beacons, but what we want to do is we want to basically force them into doing something they don't really want. Because this is not a Morello list. What we want to do is force them into giving us first, and then we can mess around ourselves and getting demo first, alpha striking with bombers. This is a very random list. And most wanted is fine here. Hey, Thrawn bingo. I have no idea if these lists are going to be any good, by the way. I'm feeling they will not be. Hey. Well. Hey, 1 to 4. And then we'll just do Bale, because I can't see myself doing Kenobi. So for Charger, maybe we should, yeah, we should randomize. This is going to be, no, it's going to be Bale. Bale. So how can we fix it? If you look, they're really, really good long-range firepower. Got your turbo laser slot. Some fantastic titles. Absolutely fantastic. We love Swift Return. Um, and they've got techs or medical teams, auxiliary shield teams, all these nice stuff. The only problem is if you add too much, loading the cost. So one good terms there's for these. So say really have the evade for overseas. So linked turbo laser turrets. And maybe you want to go where they should not go. Or you could take a look at captains. Captain Zack is 5 points though for 1 extra dice. Okay, let's try him. And let's do Int for handing out missions. And let's do another one of these. And another one. Another one bites the dust. So we've got a good long range firepower base. Now we need to bail in here. Maybe we want an acclimate 1 actually. Want an B. Simply because we want some torrents to basically tie people up. Don't want an Avoda B, we want stackable. Keeping people alive. Throw in 2 torrents. Hangar deck. Actually put Bale on the ship. That leaves us actually another charger slot if we wanted it. Bad James. Bad James. Stop spamming everything. Enough spam. So Anakin do a job. These guys can keep him alive. He's got at depth 2. He can murder squadrons slowly. These guys keep him alive. Add 2 more torrents. Clone. Just forgetting that accuracy when we need it on those red dice. I think we're done. Card officer. For it to go where I don't want it. Okay. So Asteroid Tactics is a good one here because these guys getting back tokens, not needing to worry about asteroids is nice. Blockade run would be fun, but like we can just run past people. But the danger is you're just gonna run yourself into trouble. Surprise attack puts the flagship kind of in range of the thingy, but it's a bit too. Major Rift Assault, I think, reduces the table a bit too much. Close range intel scan, I kind of like. Simply because reducing their accuracies, whereas sometimes like you just want the damage, you just want to overload their tokens. So let's try close range intel scan. We could go the standby infested fields here. Let's see, can we do something different? so volatile deposits could be quite fun, simply because our long-range stuff making their stuff exploded. That's bail bingo. Okay. So let's go to the random number generator. Chip number 2 is the hard cell transport. And then we are getting which admiral? Admiral 1, which is Dooku. Oh dear. Well, we did ask for this. So hard cell transport, why do you have 2 officer slots? Why? Just why? I will never understand this. We put Watambor and a T-series on you, but do. So Rune, no. What? No. T-series tactical droid, no. We've already made mistakes there. Hondo, yes. And then there's nothing really that keeps it alive or helps all that much. Okay, so then we're Dookuing it up. And we're using hard cell transports. We say just 4 of them with slicer tools. And then Dooku on this. Let's give him a reinforced blast doors. Let's give him a medical team. Let's give him a tide of progress. And LTTs. Okay. And then easily. So we have some points left over. And then, so what you notice is, if you're just going to be random as fuck, one thing you will get lots of is 8 of these. So, the idea is here. To the throw all the squadrons at them. You've got enough ships. Just keep them alive, and then the Munificent Star Frigate finishes them off. It can repair the whole time because Munificents do not need to navigate. Generally, this won't need to command squadrons because these robots will be doing it for it. So it can repair all the way down if it wants. Okay, so then for assault, this one I'm not 100% sure on. Okay, we do need to change one thing. So this needs to become a parts resupply because otherwise we'll be in trouble for actually unexhausting those slicer tools. Okay, let's come back to the red one. So hyperspace assault seems fun. Except if Dooku's on it, that won't work. Oh no, because it's when he gets deployed. Space assault is an option. However, asteroid tactics and infested fields are hilarious if they've no squadron commands and they're taking escorts to the face. So then the tricky one is the red. It's the red. It is the red. By the way, if the opponent has no squadrons, these are still throwing red dice. Why is an 8-point squadron throwing red dice and speed 4? It can get there. It can murder you. Like, you're just throwing 8 random reds if you want with it. So that's the idea behind this. Be boring. Yes, we Dooku, so surprise attack. Okay. So yeah. Sorry the video was a bit late this week. Yeah, this was Link's Bingo, and I can't recommend any of these. But yeah, this is what'll happen if I take 20 minutes and just build. Was this 20 minutes? How long is this? I don't know. Whatever amount of time this video is, this is just me randomly doing it. Have a good evening.